Hello and welcome to this episode of Recovery and Resilience, charting a course for the future. Navigating a fast-changing business landscape is the new reality for treasurers and corporate finance teams. And after a year of uncertainty and unprecedented change, what's clear is that resiliency is crucial. Coming up, experts from Citi's Treasury and Trade Solutions team in Asia Pacific will share their insights on where growth opportunities will emerge and what factors will drive successful businesses in the years ahead. Rajesh, I'm going to start with you. How do you define resilience in the context of this rapidly evolving business environment?
Resilience in the current landscape is about four things. It's about operating resilience, it's about financial resilience, it's about business model resilience, both on the supply chain and the sales side, and finally it's about organizational resilience as all of us combat this unusual situation.
And how should corporates approach and view resiliency?
So resiliency has evolved through COVID. The new twist to it, which has also evolved alongside, is really going to be a lot about, in addition to the pandemic, some geopolitical considerations, some of the tensions between different nations in the world would also result in tweaks being made to the supply chain. So as a subset of business model resilience, there's a lot of focus on the supply chain and ensuring that their sources remain secure and they diversify countries or places that they're getting their supply, not just because of COVID, but also because of some of the tariffs, the intercountry tensions, and so on and so forth.
Ernesto, let's talk about managing risks. How are treasurers or CFOs managing geopolitical risks or regulatory change, and why is resiliency crucial?
So our clients are trying to anticipate key changes, and they are really reaching out for insights in a way that they can adapt their business models and overall operation to a changing environment. Operational resilience is a very important topic, a very important theme. And among other considerations, it covers the need to keep supporting your clients and running your business while adapting it to the set of new and dynamic circumstances.
Sandeep, what is the role of Treasury and how is it changing?
The role of treasurer, to be honest, is emerging way beyond that, which is a true role of business enabler. And the business enabler role is very important in the context of the new business models we are seeing in Asia, whether it's direct to consumer, e-commerce, digital sales. In each of those functions, the importance of treasury function has grown rapidly, not only to make sure that the cash is available at the right center at the right time, but to make sure that the proper risk management matrices are embedded. We have the right model to ensure that there is cash flow forecasting happening, there is governance, there is treasury policy, there is risk management in terms of counterparty risk, foreign exchange risks, liquidity risk, etc. are managed. And the risk management paradigm is going to the new level given the digital engagement, whether it's cyber risk, whether it's operational resiliency. So we combine all these parameters together, the role of treasurer has improved a lot in terms of business enabler.
Now, we've seen two trends accelerate in the past year, digitization and shifts in supply chains. Sanjeev, what are some of the trends you're seeing in data and digitization that corporates should take note of in 2021?
So let me start with data. Data is often talked about as the new oil, and the importance of data can never be overemphasized. And we have seen that, as we ourselves have invested heavily in our data solutions, we've seen significant benefits, and more so during the current pandemic. So I can talk about 2-3 areas. One, in getting better insights into your clients, their needs, their requirements, their pain points. Understanding our products and services, our own products and services better so that we can improve them. Serving our clients, getting real-time feedback into the issues that they are facing, capturing it from multiple sources from our frontline teams and converting that into insights, and again making sure that we keep improving and raising the bar. From a digitization perspective, Citi has always been investing very heavily in this area. our clients have increased their investments in digitization as well. What we are seeing over the last few years is with the shift of our clients' business model to direct to consumer, the need for real-time banking, the need for real-time information has significantly gone up. And accordingly, the solutions that we are developing for our clients or the way they are adopting our solutions has increased manifold as well.
And Kanika, what have companies prioritized when it comes to supply chains, and how should they be thinking about this in 2021?
So I think 2020, with its unprecedented disruptions, the first priority for most corporates was to just ensure business continuity. I think priority number 2, which feeds into priority number 1, was ensuring that they have ample liquidity, not just for themselves, but through their ecosystem to provide enough of lubrication for this continuity to be there. And I think the other key priority became risk mitigation, because obviously it's a heightened risk environment in such scenarios. And I think lastly, another priority is digital focus in an enhanced manner. Distributed ledger technologies or APIs or some of the more next generation digital tools were something clients were looking as good innovations to have, and now those have been moved from good to have to must have.
Needless to say, corporates have had a lot to navigate in the past year. What skills do they need to maintain sustainability, Scott?
Look, it's the great question that everybody wants to talk about is, if this is where we're headed, how do we develop more agile corporates? How do we enable more innovation? Because a lot of these things are requiring businesses to pivot very, very quickly. The pace of these shifts that we've seen has been dramatic, and I think agility becomes part of the forefront, and how you actually spur or create an environment that enables innovation and actually fosters it instead of stifles it. More and more my clients are talking about is saying, it's less of a centralized concept, it's more of a horizontal concept, or something that we're really focused on saying, how do you make it mainstream? How do you make it part of the DNA as opposed to more of a science experiment? And I think that combination of agility and an innovation as part of the DNA are really, I guess I would say, the core capabilities or skills that companies are going to need to really inculcate within their environment if they want to be successful within this kind of environment in terms of creating a greater degree of resiliency and more sustainability in their business.
Annie, how has the crisis accelerated the conversation on diversity and inclusion?
Every crisis has a silver lining, and in every crisis, while there are very negative things happening, there are also a lot of opportunities. So first is working from home. So that was something that was not very popular in Asia, but after more than 8 months working from home, because we couldn't go to the offices, we all know that it works. Finally, people can actually in the future choose how they want to work. They will have the flexibility to decide whether they want to work only from home, only from the office, or have a hybrid solution, something in between. And I think this is a great opportunity for us to appeal to a much larger population and to work even further on diversity and inclusion. The second trend which came with COVID is the discussions around well-being and mental health. So there are a lot of changes, work from home, talking about topics you've never talked about confidently. It's a very dynamic and interesting time, which is really going to boost further diversity and inclusion.
Rajesh, it has been challenging on many fronts for corporates, but amid the uncertainty, Asia is resilient. Why is Citi so optimistic about the opportunities in the region?
Asia is the biggest growth opportunity globally for Citi. So I think on the back of COVID, the acceleration towards financial inclusion, towards democratizing of finance, digitization, and frankly, governments actually promoting innovation through various schemes creates an environment where business thrives. If you add to that the fact that there are more companies being created in Asia than any other region in the world, that gives you an indication why a bank like Citi would be so focused.
Well, thank you to our panel of experts from Citi's Asia Pacific Treasury and Trade Solutions team for sharing your insights.